Tonight's episode of the 31st Lap Podcast is brought to you by DirtTrackDigest.com. If it's on dirt, it's on Dirt Track Digest.
This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, welcome to the 31st Lap, episode number 155. I'm Chris Marquardt. Joining me on the Skype hotline, we've got the one and only Mike Mallett. He's going to be sitting with us through most of the evening. Mike, welcome back to the show via the Skype line. I see you've got the Jason Barney wing back behind you.
Yeah, I was too lazy to dig one out of the garage. So I started recycling. I think the first wing I used was it this one?
That was early.
Remember,
I remember the EV logo from
it was a
one
long
of the first.
time ago. So I went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10. So I'm sure I'll go out in the garage and get some more at another point. But for now, this is what we get. So
how many wings do you actually have? Whoops, shouldn't have done that. There we go.
I don't even. We've talked about it like 100 times, and I don't know. Maybe someday I'll count. Let's see. Let's just in the basement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 just in the basement.
Wow.
And I'm assuming there's another 15 in the garage, the 20, so 40-ish.
Wow. Not bad. Not
No, I'll
bad.
take it.
We're going to be catching up with Bo Lockwood a little bit later on to talk about a track that's enjoying a bit of a resurgence after it was closed last year, Thunder Mountain Speedway in Brookville, Pennsylvania. The track now in the hands of Bo Lockwood, and he's in the process of bringing that track back to life. And in the midst of all the conversation, Mike, that we've had with tracks potentially closing, the story that circulated around Rolling Wheels and the grim outlook for Syracuse, it was nice to hear a story of a track actually coming back to life after it had been closed.
Yeah, you don't hear that very often.
No.
In this day and age, usually once a track closes, that's it. So, good to know that, something's coming back and, that he's going to, he wants to make this place a show place. I can't wait to talk to him. I don't know much about it, so I look forward to that conversation. He's
a real good dude. We'll be getting him on the phone here in a couple of minutes. But action coming up this weekend. Mike, your home track ready to open?
Yeah, Sunday. I'm taking a couple days off. This is my last big weekend weekend off, I should say, because from now here until November, I don't take much time off. So we've got Utica Rome opens on Sunday, so I will be there on Sunday. Joining me in the tower on multiple occasions this year will be the voice Shane Andrews. So really looking forward to that Sunday night, and it's Friday, Saturday. I'm going to be in Waterloo, your neck of the woods there, Chris, shooting darts.
Where are you going?
The Holiday Inn.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
The
New York State Dart Tournament.
Am I going to see you this weekend then?
No, probably not. I don't leave the hotel.
I know where the hotel is.
Yeah, stop on by then.
All right.
I don't think I'm leaving there.
I saw you were tagging a couple of posts that would suggest you shouldn't be going anyplace.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. All of my friends have rooms, and you end up sleeping somewhere in one of their rooms usually.
That'll work.
So
it'll work for you.
It happens.
You'll be all right.
It happens. So
what's the dart tournament all about?
You just go. I play dart. Those that know me know I play a lot of darts. I play steel tip darts on Tuesdays and soft tip darts on Wednesdays. And basically, this is just 4 days of basically excessive dart playing.
Yeah.
You can play from the time you wake up at 10 a.m. to the time you go to bed at 4 a.m. A few years ago, I'm playing in the 4-man tournament tomorrow night. Got my buddy DC and his brother-in-law Mike's coming, and a friend of mine, Johnny Boy. We're shooting 4-man tomorrow night. If you win it, usually it gets over about 3:30 to 4 o'clock. So needless to say, you're drinking a lot of Red Bull, and your arm feels like it'll fall off by the time you're done.
Yeah.
So
have you been training? Have you been training?
You know what? I threw a lot last week, but then this week my arm's really I got like dead arm. That's so stupid to say, but that's what it feels like. So I've been kind of taking it easy. I've shot Tuesday and last night, but took tonight off. So
do your classes in school know when you're in dart training because all of their notes are now printed and handed out? You're not writing on the dry erase board in history.
I don't write on a dry erase board anyways. I have a smart board.
Well,
so
okay,
everything I use is typed, and then I do a little bit of writing, but almost everything I use is typed.
I understand.
So yeah,
I see.
So Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Yep. So
That is
it'll be
pretty
fun.
funny.
It's a good weekend. It's a nice getaway, a little bit different, no racing and just a chance to relax for a couple days before things get rocking and rolling. They
Right.
kind of got rocking and rolling last weekend, had 2 nights. I was at the
How about
Orange County
Jackie
Fair
Brown?
Speedway on Saturday night for the Hard Clay Open.
Right.
Pretty, very good. Stuart Friesen led the whole thing. I thought Jerry Higbee had something for him. He just needed a caution. I mean, the race went from about lap 4 or 5 to the end with no cautions. So you don't see that very often. And then Sunday I was at 5 Mile Point and watched Danny Johnson pick up the win. So it was Friesen and Johnson. Friesen ended up winning the overall race of champions points by 4 points over Stuart Friesen. So
Wait,
from
say
last
that
year,
again? Say that.
Yeah,
Run that by me.
remember?
No. Matt Friesen won over Matt Shepard.
Yes, by 4 points.
Okay. I got lost there. I thought you said that Friesen won over Friesen. I lost track there. Got it. So Friesen's the champion by 4 points over Matt Shepard.
Yeah, for last year, because if you remember last year,
'Cause it got rained out.
was rained out for the second year in a row, so they ran it this year. We've talked about it. We don't need to rehash it, but
Long story short, Stu Friesen adds to his collection of championships from
yeah,
2014.
it's 10 grand or whatever he ended up winning.
Right.
So
Not too bad.
no.
How about Jackie Brown?
Jackie Brown won the Gobbler.
Yep. And Accord.
Yeah, on Tuesday night, and according to Brett Dale, that was a really good night, and had a lot of people and all that, so it was good.
And I saw Kurt Michael and Dwayne Howard picking up wins.
At Big Diamond.
And Big Diamond's got the Money in the Mountains coming
Or not
Friday.
not Big Diamond, Bridgeport.
Bridgeport.
Sorry. I'm thinking about Big Diamond because that's this weekend.
Yeah, Big Diamond's Friday.
Yeah. Money in the Mountains, 3,500 to win. Attempt number 3. They've
Three
not had
times
any luck
the
with
charm,
that so
right?
far. So,
3 times the charm, right?
yeah, they're hoping. I mean, the weather's supposed to be supposed to rain overnight tonight and then be nice all weekend. So I'm hoping.
But you're gonna miss all that. You're gonna miss the opener for Fonda too.
Yeah, that's okay. It happens. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm at 25 races already, so I'm okay. Not many people that can say they've gone to 25 races already, and it's only April. So I'll
can't
take
get
a
over
couple
it.
days.
So if I came to the dart tournament, what time would be best to arrive? Because I'll tell you right now, I'm not meeting up
We
with you
start
at
at
4:30.
6 o'clock tomorrow night.
Yeah, but you it's game time there, so it's not like you're gonna be tipping cocktails or anything at that early hour.
Yeah, I mean, you're shooting darts. I mean, inevitably you'll have a couple adult beverages, but for the most part. But
Serious business.
yeah, you want to win. So,
Well, it's the state championship. Of course, you want to win.
yeah, you spend your $15, whatever, and then you got to put money on the board and everything else. But if you win your money back plus a little bit extra.
Not bad.
I don't ultimately think you make money because I don't think that's possible. But
Somebody's making money, otherwise they wouldn't have it every year.
yeah, the guy owning all the boards that makes you pay for every game, he's making money
But
because every game is $1. So
I see.
per team, so it's $2 a game.
Right.
So,
Joining us on the hotline, operating Brookville, Pennsylvania's Thunder Mountain Speedway this year, Bo Lockwood. Bo, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
No problem. We've been trying to put this together here for a couple of weeks now, as we've got closer to the launch of the season. Bo, we know Bo Lockwood from the Reckless Warriors series and Keystone Nationals in the Demolition Derby world, but he is a longtime late model aficionado and now taking over the track that was closed It's been closed for a little bit now. He's brought it back to life, and things are looking really up for Thunder Mountain this year.
Yeah, the Speedway itself, it was brand new in 2005, and just for whatever reason, they just had to close their doors. And racing in this area has really been growing in the last, I want to say, really in the last couple of years. And this facility really is gorgeous. I mean, it's a real nice track. It's got good banking. It's a 3/8 semi oval. Just the whole layout of the racetrack itself is just perfect. We decided to take this on, kind of extend our promotional game from the demolition derbies, like we've talked so many times before in the past, and get into the circle track racing. And it's really it's been a long haul. When we got there, the facility hasn't been used in, I want to say, 4 years. And, I mean, there was grapevines growing over the catch fence. There's just trees growing. I mean, you guys know what weather does to a race facility. It was just a nightmare when we moved in, and it's just getting to the point now where we got the track completely resurfaced as far as the base. We'll be putting clay on all week this week, just resurfacing the grandstands and the concession stand. I mean, it was a complete overhaul of a racetrack. It really was. And
you had a lot of pressure from your neck of the woods to open earlier, because the guys that had the 4-cylinder enduro type cars that wanted someplace to race in the cancellation of one of the other local tracks.
Yeah, it's been it's a good problem for a promoter to have, which is it's constant pressure to open up. You know, everybody in this area, and really our whole area of the state is behind us on this, and they've been pushing real hard. Even anymore, I mean, from sun up to sundown, guys are wanting to rent our facility out just to get the few practice laps on them, and you know, and calling me for our start date, calling me for our practice dates, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see that everybody in the area is really happy that this racetrack's coming back to life, for sure. And
you're going to be running late models on a weekly basis, along with, you got a couple hobby stop classes, and you've got a sprint car class too. Yeah, the late models, they are this area is predominantly a steel block track. I think Pennsylvania in a whole is known for their super late models and their steel block late models. And there's really, other than the weight, there is no difference. These guys in their steel blocks are unbelievable. But we have steel block late models, but we still allow the aluminum blocks to run. They just have to hang 50 pounds of lead in front of their mid plate, and they still have to weigh the 2,400-pound roll for the steel blocks themselves. I see.
But we do run those. We do run the late models. We have open stocks, which I'm not sure if you guys are familiar up there, but the Penn Ohio Street Stock Series,
okay.
It's really gaining a lot of steam. So we're running their rolls for the street stocks. Pure stocks, 4 cylinders, and then we're bringing on board that 305 sprint car class, the Warriors. It's a class that, this area, there's just sprint cars popping up all over the place, and it's this 305 class. It's a good, somewhat inexpensive class to get into, and we're just going to go ahead and support it.
Was your background in racing, or was it mostly from the combative motorsport stuff?
Well, my background, I started, as a kid, you just, every little boy loves racing, but I got into the dirt late model racing. I jumped right into a dirt late model right off the bat. I don't know if that was a good idea or not, but that's what we did. We had a lot of fun. But then I had the opportunity, I had met Kent Robinson at the World 100 years ago, and made good friends with him, and then started working for him. And worked for him throughout a season, and some off seasons. Made it to quite a few amazing tracks. Just kind of learned a lot of the World of Outlaw series sanctioning body, how that works, and how all that, how they run things, and picked up a lot of racetrack knowledge from all the tracks that we visited. So it's come full circle now that we have our own racetrack. It's exciting.
Have you? We've had a lot of conversations in putting together the Reckless Warrior Series and the Keystone Nationals, and the way that those events independently are structured and the way that the series is structured. You've adopted a lot of the stuff from circle track stuff to apply to the Demolition Derby. What were some of the lessons that you were able to fall back on now as you stepped into the role of a promoter?
Oh, boy. It's just, number one, it's taking care of the people that show up to your facility.
Mm-hmm.
You see so many racetracks that you walk into, and I don't know, I like to get that wow factor. You walk into places, you guys might be familiar with Lernerville Speedway. As a kid, you walk into Lernerville Speedway, and you're amazed at how everything is prepped, how everything's taken care of. The whole facility is really nice. And I'm trying to bring that to our area as well. You walk through the gates of the Speedway, I want people to be impressed. I want the looks. I want everything to be, I want people to be in awe over that. And not only that, you get into, a lot of the places, like with our demolition derbies, inspection is everything. You have to be fair across the board, and that is what's made us successful. We don't let anybody slide on anything, and that's the same thing that we're going to incorporate into our race program as well. A lot of these hobby stock classes, like the pure stocks, are starting to get out of hand in areas, and it's starting to take racing out of the hands of younger drivers just because they can't fit, and we're trying to bring all that back. So I've definitely transferred that stuff over, and then into the bigger classes. A lot of the stuff that I picked up, just paying attention to some of the bigger sanctioning bodies, seeing how they inspect cars, how they run their programs. Trying to do the right things and the things that make sense.
Sure.
That's a big thing.
Have you contacted Toby Hiley to see if he's interested in circle track stuff, just in case Pete Hansen decides to drive a hobby stock car?
Oh my God, what a nightmare! It's kind of nice to keep that stuff separate. keep them Toby Hileys and Pete Hansens out of the racing world.
You alluded to the big sanctioning bodies. What in terms of the special events have you got mapped out for this year?
Well, this first year, the biggest thing as a promoter is you don't want to overpromise things and not be able to deliver. That's the biggest thing that I want to make sure that I don't do. We're very fortunate to have a large backing, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we can deliver on everything we promise. So some of the specials we got going on is they're somewhat mild, but at the same time, we got the ULMS series. It's getting kicked off since that NDRL series kind of dropped off the map a little bit, and the ULMS took over. We got a big show on. It's going to be August the 30th. It's the Stephanie Eckel Memorial. It's going to be a really good one. It's a super late model show, and we're having a 305 sprint special there as well that same weekend. Like I said earlier, that Penn Ohio series. Are you guys familiar with that up in New York?
I haven't heard a ton about it. I mean, Mike travels out that direction more than I do. Have you come across that one?
I may have seen him. I may have seen him in Ohio. I mean, I've been to a bunch of different tracks in Ohio, so it's possible.
Yeah, this is it's relatively a new series, and it's funny. You don't really hear many traveling series within the stock classes. But this Penn Ohio deal, I mean, they really stepped it up. Each show, I think what he's shooting for is 1,000 to win minimum and 100 to start minimum for all of his shows. And for a street stock class, I mean, that's huge. And they're getting they're averaging around 25 to 35 cars in the pits at shows. I mean, these shows are no slouch. It's really grabbing most of the Ohio and Pennsylvania all-stars of street stock racing. So we're excited for that. And this area, that's a big thing. And in the year is we're gonna incorporate some super late model shows and some good super late model shows, and then next year is the year that we can hammer it out, see where our cars are at, and then go down from there.
How about in terms of 410 sprint cars and some of the higher tier sprint car programs? Have you got anything sort of on the radar in coming seasons to get those guys in as well?
Yeah, I don't have anything on the program yet for the 410 guys. I'll tell you what happened. I mean, you get 410s in this area, and everybody in the whole area they show up for it. Love the 410 sprint. Now who doesn't? You know what I mean?
That's how Pennsylvania works.
I do not have anything on the ticket for them just yet. It's one of those deals where I'm still trying to get acclimated to the area. I'm still trying to make sure that we get our base program down, get that all settled in, and as soon as I get settled in, I'm going to do just like we did with the Reckless Warrior series. Just try to expand as much as we can within our own means.
I mean, you said once that you want to make the goal of making this one of the premier facilities in Pennsylvania and in that region. I mean, going right up there in the midst of the West Virginia, southwestern New York, Ohio realm.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no reason why this facility cannot gain that kind of status. There really isn't. I mean, I wish I had some pictures to deliver for you from what we've done with the reconstruction. I mean, it's there. The base is there on the track. One thing we did different. A lot of tracks have not ventured into it. We had a problem with water. Our water pond, or our holding tank, is so far away from the racetrack. So we instead of running water trucks the whole distance, we purchased a water pump, a big pump, and we're pumping out water the whole distance from the pond to the racetrack into holding containers that are buried inside the track. And from there, we have a separate that's running a sprinkler system. So no need to run a water truck across this racetrack, trying to keep all that heavy weight from the truck off of the racing surface. So it's going to be kind of nice when the fans come in, and instead of seeing a water truck, it's going to look like a golf course getting watered.
That's cool. You ever come across that, Mike?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's a pretty good, pretty neat little deal. It's kind of nice because we can control the water to the T, how we get laid down on the racetrack. It's like they say, a good rainstorm is nice even for every time. Well, we can do that the same way with a sprinkler system, and we can adjust how much. And the nice thing is, if we just need it on the turns, we can do it there. If we need it on the straightaways, wherever, we just shut the valves off or on, and we can control it right down to where we need it.
That's a good move. How about as that news got out to the racers, what was their response? I mean, are they discussing the potential of having so much more even and consistent racetrack surface?
The guys in this area, I don't want to talk out of turn. It's just some of the surfaces in this region are, they're good surfaces. They're just, the guys are excited to have a brand new clay surface that all the rocks are removed. I mean, we got 4 rock hounds coming in this weekend to work the whole track. It's just going to be a brand new surface, and I think the whole idea of everything being new, new clay, no rocks, just everything's new, has the drivers very excited for this area.
Any thoughts, Mike? Anybody chiming in on the live chat?
Well, I'm actually looking at the photos on the Facebook page.
Yes.
Good deal.
There are photos up there.
Yeah, he said there was photos. I'm like, let me see. So, I was listening, and as he's talking about the different things, I'm seeing it on the Facebook page.
Say that again?
As you were talking about it, I was looking at it on the Facebook page, and I've shared it in the chat room, so some other folks can check it out as well.
Perfect. I appreciate that. Yeah, they're the surface you can see on that page. We got the pictures that are posted. The base is down. There's a lot of room to race on this track. It's a really wide track, really fast track. I think it's going to work out really well. We're anxious to see the competition on this track for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in the live chat, man?
Again, we're all talking about different things.
Yeah,
we've been talking about the track, and again, it's always nice to see a place come back. And looking at the photos from the before to after, I got to tell you, it's amazing. Just just from the
when we walked into this place in the beginning, we were like, "Oh boy, what are we getting ourselves into?" But there's so many people that got involved with this, and they from the word go, they never lost interest. They never did anything. They just keep hammering away and keep digging every day, and it's been amazing. It really has been. I need to post. I stopped posting pictures about 2 weeks ago, because I still want to create that wow factor when our fans and drivers show up to the race facility. All the grandstands have been reconstructed. There's some pictures on there that show that some of the benches are all worn out and tore out and have no paint on or anything like that. They're completely different. Everything's groomed. A lot of gravel's been laid down. It's amazing, the difference.
What did you do to the access road? I saw some photos of that.
Say that again?
The access road, did you add gravel to that? Is that what you did?
What we're doing is a local company, Jefferson Paving, came on board with us. What we did was, in the past, this facility had trouble with vehicles, haulers coming in the front gate. There was not a whole lot of room to get the haulers in, so we took and hogged out the pit entrance road. We made it 2 lanes. As it sits right now, it's just shale. We put shale on it and rolled it in. We have from Jefferson Paving crushed concrete coming, so we're gonna lay a layer of crushed concrete the whole way through that access road into the pits and out into the main entrance. And we're gonna roll that in. It will look like it's a brand new concrete pad when we're done with it.
Nice.
So it'll be real nice, and we're trying to keep all the mud off of the haulers. Yeah,
Right.
these guys have a lot of money tied up in them, and we don't really need them driving through ruts and muddy pits. There's no need for that.
How many Redline racing engines are going to be in action there?
This is red line country.
It sure is.
There's
Right in the
a
middle
lot
of
of red lines in the Derby world, but it ain't nothing compared to the circle track guys.
Have you?
This is right in the heart of red line country, but there is also some other great engine builders in the area.
Has the number 57 been prepped for this season yet?
I'll tell you what I did. Lori, my girlfriend, she gets mad at me all the time. She's more of a race fan than I am even. And right when we decided to do this racetrack, I tore my car apart.
Uh-huh.
I completely tore it down to nothing because I knew this time of the year I'd want to get racing. I'd want to get out on the track and just get tuning on things. So right now it's sitting in our shop. It's just a pile of tubes. It's just a bare chassis. So that way I can't take it out on the track.
Now Lori's more into the drag racing stuff, right?
Yeah, Lori's a big drag racer. She's big into that, but I think slowly we're getting her more in tune to the dirt than that strip stuff.
See, I'm thinking totally opposite side of that. I'm wondering how long before she has you build a drag strip on that facility.
It's already been talked about. Her and her brother both have really hammered it down. It wouldn't happen at this facility, but who knows? Down the road, there might be another little area to put in a strip somewhere.
Once all the Christmas trees are down.
Yeah. There's a lot involved in those drag races. She's since I got involved with her, she's taken me around to some of those shows, and that's a whole new breed of motorsports there.
Yeah. So what's more impressive, the late model or the drag strip stuff?
Oh, late models, 10 times over.
You listening, Mike? You listening to that?
Yeah, I'm just waiting. He hasn't mentioned big block modifieds yet, so I stopped paying attention.
There you go. I'll tell you what, the BRP tour seems to be pretty big in this area. I have had conversations with them. Me being worried with the construction and the amount of work this pre-construction is taking. Mm-hmm. I just to make sure, hey, we got the trick done, we got it right, and we're going to open the doors. Modifieds are a definite guarantee going to happen in this area, but at this racetrack. But it's one of those deals where my main goal is get this baby opened and make sure it's good for everybody, and then we'll expand from there.
See, when I've been to a few of the BRP races, they do pretty well out there, and they got some good cars, and they Expo Raceway, I believe, is that's where I went last few years. I'll be there again this year. They get 25 to 30 cars too, and the purse isn't too bad. So I would look.
Unfortunately, the BRP tour is the only one I really know of in this area.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too awful many other ones that travel down into this area of Pennsylvania. I mean, I know you guys up there. I mean, that's modified country. You don't have a modified up there, you're not a racer, from what I understand. But,
that's about right.
I know we go down to Charlotte every year, and it's amazing the amount of New York big block modified drivers.
Yeah, we've got a lot of guys. We got a lot of cars. I mean, we also got a very condensed amount of racetracks. I live here in Syracuse, and you can go 2 hours each way and probably go to 30 different racetracks. It's incredible the amount of racetracks that we have. Here.
Wow. Now, is like late models and stuff like that kind of is it in your area, or is it more just oil stuff?
This is our stuff is basically you get big block modifieds, 360 sprint cars. Not week. Nobody runs sprint cars weekly here. The only late model action we get here is, I guess it's Rush now. Would be the Rush crate late models. That's about it. No weekly late model tracks or anything like that. I mean, the closest weekly late model track to me would probably be, it would be like going to Selinsgrove, and that's about 3.5 hours for me. Or going out, Lernerville, that's 5.5, 6 hours. So,
wow.
That would be the closest. And then from there, you got to go down all the way down. You got Port Royal, but then you got to go all the way down to like Hagerstown. That's we're big block modified, and then obviously Pennsylvania sprint cars when you get down a little farther south. But.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been fortunate enough to travel the country and see a lot of different races and be involved in a lot of them, and it's amazing to see what different areas breed. I mean, unfortunately, everything that I've been incorporated with was all they're late model stuff. But you get into the area, and even some of the racetracks we go to, You know, like when we were out in Knoxville, Iowa, well, everybody knows that's a sprint car area. You know,
Yes,
and
it
even
is.
even the fans in the grandstands, everything you see is all sprint car T-shirts, sprint car, yeah, everything's sprint cars. You know, you get down, you know, into Florida, and things change down there, and even, you know, like what we just talked. I mean, Pennsylvania is a sprint car state. You get into our area, it's nothing but late models, and then up into New York, it's just amazing to see the difference in classes in the area.
Yeah, we're pretty fortunate that we can see all three of the main divisions on any given weekend if you want to travel a little bit. You know, it's not like the Midwest where you're kind of stuck with, you know, you're going to get some kind of UMP modified more than likely, and then either midgets or non-wing sprint cars. You know, then the farther west you go, you get all non-wing sprint car stuff. So.
Yeah. Now, do you guys get much, like, do you guys get much of those UMP mods up in your area? The open wheel, we call them E-mods down here.
Well, in New York, they're IMCAs, and there's not many tracks that run them. 5 Mile Point, Skyline, and I-88 are the only weekly tracks left running IMCA, at least in my area.
Okay.
Yeah, they never really caught on here. That, you know, that's always been a big thing out in the Midwest, but never, you know, I think everybody here is just attuned to our kind of modifieds. You know, you're used to the big blocks, and that's what you want, that's what you see, and that's what you have. So.
Yeah, exactly. Growing up, those were the only kind of modifieds I ever knew existed. You know, it's just, I was so used to looking at them at Lernerville. I mean, we'd go to Lernerville every Friday. That was what I looked forward to every week, you know, and that's what was there. You know, you had the modifieds, and that's what's nice about that track. You know, you see the street stocks, modifieds, late models, and sprint cars all in one night. I mean, how do you beat that?
Oh yeah, that's the best. I've only been there once for a weekly show, and that is by far one of the best places to go for just a weekly, regular Friday night show. You can't go wrong. You got 3 headline divisions as their 3 classes.
Yep, we with our racing team, we thought, you know, I just got back into racing. I thought, you know what, we're going to go try to run for points at Lernerville, and about 3 races in, we figured out our point streams were pretty much shot because that area is best of best when it comes to races. It really is. We got smoked every night there.
Yep, definitely some good cars out there. So when do things finally get going and you know, officially, when are you going to be ready to rock and roll? You said you got all this other stuff you're finishing up. I mean, I'm sure you got a website and all that where people can find all that out.
Yeah, it's our website is blmotorsports.net. Unfortunately, thundermountainspeedway.net.com, and any other way I can possibly figure it out, somebody already owns that. So I had to stick with my regular my whole event website, which is blmotorsports.net. But we're looking at starting our practices now. We're to the point now where we just discussed today. We're safe saying that we're going to have our first opening practices May 15th and May 16th, and then we're going to go right into racing on May 22nd or May 22nd. So that gives us a few weeks yet, but that'll give us a few weeks to tie everything up, make sure everything's perfect, ready to go, and we should be good. I'm excited.
Awesome.
It's, I'm looking forward to it. I want to get down there at least once. Bo was scheduled sort of to come up and run at Canandaigua last July, but then everything went south with that series, and that date ended up getting canceled, and we didn't get the chance to see him. Because I know that it's happened. I just didn't know that it was Bo in the car. I want to see him race again at some point. Just because every time we cross paths, it's when cars are running into each other on purpose.
yeah. No, it's kind of crazy. I get that a lot. You know, since we promote the demolition derbies in the area, you know, everybody kind of they give me a lot of flack for that. Since I'm a circle track promoter and a demolition derby promoter all in one, it's actually kind of funny.
How long before the Sciopas have a 305 sprint car?
What's that?
How long before the Sciopas have a 305?
It won't be long, I can't imagine. I keep hammering on all them guys all the time. I said, you know, listen, you got all this money tied up in those derby cars. You got to spend a little bit in the racing circuit. You see what horsepower is all about.
Yeah.
And that's what it did for me. I used to run, I mean, a lot of people got their start in those demolition derbies. I started that when I was real young and always liked racing, but just never had anybody that could show me the way. And once I got the opportunity to jump in a late model, I never looked back. I mean, I never ran another derby and got into promoting them, and somehow I found a way into promoting racetracks as well.
And all the other myriad hats that you wear.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got to stay busy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Bo, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Is there anybody that you want to make mention of before we let you go?
Absolutely. I mean, I got so many people that came on board. Apple Tractor has been huge. Jefferson Paving, BWP Bats. We got Sunoco Race Fuels jumped on board with us. Kelly Chrysler is a huge supporter of us. It just keeps going down the line. Brooks Services. Dwayne Brooks, he owns a late model himself, but he also owns a very large excavating company. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for him, this wouldn't even be possible. I mean, he has donated his time, his effort, his machinery, and we all know that machinery is not cheap.
Right.
Yeah, to operate that stuff and the fuel it takes, Brooks Services for sure. I mean, if it wasn't for them, forget it. Wouldn't even happen. St. Mary's Insurance. St. Mary's isn't far from this area. They were really crucial in all this. Seco Designs, which is the same company that does all our T-shirts and all our billboards and stuff for the Reckless Warrior series, all the logos and stuff like that. That's huge. We get a guy. His name's Tim Lindemuth. This guy, he has been with me since day one of this racetrack. He has helped us tremendously. Just everything from carpentry work to anything that you'd ever need. That this guy he's on it. And of course, Lori. I mean, without her, my God, none of this would happen. I mean, she keeps me straight whenever anything's done. She makes sure that I'm on it. I'm doing the right thing.
You got to have those people around.
That's right, for sure. Couldn't do it without her.
You guys been out fishing lately?
What's that?
You guys been out fishing lately?
Oh my God! As soon as all this racetrack stuff is underway, and as soon as this Reckless Warrior Tour is underway, the boat is the first thing getting put in the water, even before the race car gets done.
Excellent.
I'm coming to Erie fishing.
And over the winter, Bo and Laura were down. I don't remember where it was. It was off Florida, and Lori Palm Beach caught a huge dolphin tuna. Huge. Like the video of her catching it, bringing it in, and everything, and that thing never saw the light of day again.
No, right in the cooler, and that was it.
Nice.
So I don't know if you guys have ever had dolphin, or they call them mahi too, but that is the best. I'm telling you, if you're going to eat anything, that's the fish to eat right there, buddy.
Well, Mike has a bunch of cats, so he gets the processed tuna at his house.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. It's a processed tuna.
Virtually the same thing.
That's right. If you put enough tartar sauce on it, you'll never tell the difference.
Excellent. Bo, man, I appreciate you coming on. I wish you the best of luck as we get closer to the start of the season, and I'll see you here in about 3 weeks at the
2 weeks, man. It all starts.
Yep, Superstock season on the 9th of May.
That's right. 100 entries. We got them. We're ready to go.
Good God. Hey, do me a favor and let's not go until 4:30 in the morning like we did last Saturday.
I'll do what I can.
All right, thanks.
Hey, thanks so much. I sure appreciate it, guys.
You bet, Bo. Have a good time.
Have a good one.
BLmotorsports.net. There goes Bo Lockwood, promoter of the Thunder Mountain Speedway down in Brookville, Pennsylvania. What do you think, Mike?
He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
I got to looking at, like I said, I was looking at the Facebook there while you guys were chatting. I was listening in to the stuff he's talking about, and I'm like, he's definitely turning it around. Again, as I said, it's nice to see somebody caring about a facility and trying to bring it back rather than just bulldozing the place and closing it. You know?
It was in some dire straits, but those guys jumped in, and Bo does everything top of the line. I mean, there is no corner that's going to be cut, and it's going to be outstanding. And he didn't even get into some of the other stuff. Like I tried to get him into it. He does Christmas trees in the off season. They got a Christmas tree farm. I know they got another farm on top of that someplace. He's always going all the time between his locations in Brookville and then the spot that he's got down in Florida. So he's covering a lot of.
Now I really feel bad for him. He's got a spot in Florida.
Yeah. It's pretty rough. I don't know how he gets to. I don't know how he.
I don't know.
I don't know how he gets by.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yep.
The racing's better here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen to all the listen to all the conversation and everything that he's got going, it's pretty busy.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt.
So what else has been going on in the chat room? You said that everybody had a couple different topics.
Yeah, talking about opening days and sprint car racing, and then that kind of stuff. You've got Bedford opening this weekend. You've got big races at Williams Grove, Port Royal, Albany Saratoga's opening Friday night. So a lot of that stuff is what we were chatting about. Things of that nature. So and then we're talking a little bit about darts too.
Nice.
Since that was the topic that came up at the beginning of the show.
Right.
So
it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Yep. So we had nice little discussions.
That's cool.
But yeah. So what did you think of did you have a chance to read the story that I wrote on Billy Dunn?
I think that's interesting. I'm surprised that he's given up Canandaigua. Very surprised. But I mean, you gotta stay on the cutting edge of it too.
It's interesting, the operation of what they're doing. So we'll see. That he's going there in an experimental deal. So
yeah, very experimental. I mean, this is very new to the area, but you see what the crate program has done so far. If this is the next step, what does the future hold?
Yeah, I mean, if they can make it work. I mean, it seems to me that the operation they're choosing to go with, they're going with a Wagner-built 327 motor.
Mm-hmm.
Wagner is the guy that pioneered all the NASCAR stuff, like the NASCAR stock engines in the spec motor that the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series Modifieds, as well as the Truck Series. Mm-hmm. He pioneered all that. Now it's Yates, I believe, that does it all, or Roush Yates, I believe, is what has taken that over.
Conglomerate, right?
Yeah, but he piloted all that, so he knows what he's doing. The company that he started, so that's why they're going this way. And I talked to Mike Perotti because Dirt Car is involved in this as well. And they basically said it is comparable horsepower. It's 560 to 600, somewhere in there, and it can run at the 7,600 RPMs that the small blocks run at.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I mean, that's such a huge advantage to be able to get the not only can it run at the 7,600 and take the abuse, but also it can stay in the power band. So and you can use the power that you've got.
And Mike said if you maintain it well, they can go 2 years before you got to have them freshened.
What?
Yeah. So
a lot of the sportsman guys are in a similar time frame.
Right.
They're probably tearing them down a little bit early, just to make sure that they've got a good piece underneath them. But they can stretch it if they need to. The pro stock cars, when they were running those, they were on a similar schedule as well.
Yeah. Yep. It'll be interesting. I mean, if this works,
change the landscape again.
I mean, the motor costs right around 10 grand. Yeah, because it only costs right around 10 grand.
Right.
Now, ultimately this will help 358 racing, but hopefully this leads to more research in what's it called? The
development
research in the big block ranks. You know what I mean? Something that'll work with the big blocks.
Didn't the big block? There was some talk about that initially when the crate motors came out for the sportsman cars.
They were running one of the crate motors, a CT 525. I don't know if they could ever make enough horsepower. Was the problem? Or I'm not 100% positive.
Right.
So, yeah. Again, I as I said to Mike Perotti yesterday on the phone, I said, you can explain all this to me about 4 times, and I'm not very smart. Basically, when it comes to the motor builders and things of that, I have no idea.
Right.
I know what pistons are. I know what the heads are. I know what it all is. But when you start putting it all together and telling me you're doing this and this and this and this, I got no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
The other thing, that's good with these Wagner power plants is that they're all encrypted, which means everything's got serial numbers and so on.
Right.
So, it would be very difficult to cheat because they can tech you and pretty much tear your motor down piece by piece and tell you every piece that should be in it.
Right. Everything's documented.
So, yeah.
It's essentially just walk up to it and scan the barcode and it'll tell you what it's supposed to have. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, exactly.
That's I like the direction of it. I think that's going to be a huge bonus, in terms of the 358 series, if they can get that up on its feet and continue to go that direction with it, because it's good for the sport. I mean, look at what the crate program with the sportsman cars and how successful that was.
And that was part of the process. That was part of the thought that the sportsman.
And
once we went crate
cars,
engines, there's 100 of them.
Those cars,
100,000 of them now.
Those cars can handle running on the mile, even though they don't have to ever again.
Well, they're not going to after this year, right?
Doesn't sound like it. Doesn't sound good.
Sadly.
But yeah, I mean, the Billy Dunn, going up there to be the sort of the lead of that R&D program instead of running weekly at Canandaigua Motorsports Park, which I saw Jeremy Corcoran posted on the Canandaigua page last weekend that a start of April 25th might not even be in the cards given how much standing water was on the track. It was pretty deep in the insides of turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's never really drained well there, so hopefully, it's supposed to be kind of dry this week. I mean, it's supposed to get some rain tonight, but hopefully it'll dry out and he can open up next week, but we'll see.
So we've got Big Diamond Friday, Fonda's opening Saturday. We've got Utica Rome opening Sunday, and then we're moving into more openers next weekend with Canandaigua throwing open the doors. Supposed to be anyway on the Saturday following, 25th.
Yep. So it should be good.
But this weekend is darts for Mike.
That's it. Relaxing. One more, and then it's go full bore from here on out.
Right.
So
excellent. What else we got? Anything?
That's about all I got.
Did we cover all the bases?
I'm good if you're good.
We're 45 minutes in already, if you can believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
good talk with Bo. I've been wanting to get a hold of him.
That was good.
He's
you obviously know him far better than me.
a little.
You're asking questions. I'm like, where the hell did that come?
Where'd it come from?
But that was good. I enjoyed listening. It was nice.
Well, good. I'm glad I was able to entertain you and the other three people listening.
You did a good interview.
Oh, thank you. Every now and again, the blind squirrel gets it.
Every now and then, I'll be nice to you.
Thank you. That was most kind. We do need to talk with Bo a little bit more. I know he's put a couple of things on the table that he wants to do in terms of expanding the awareness of his track, Mike, that we've hedged upon, and perhaps we could bring some live racing action to some of our fans back home.
That would be fun.
It would be neat. We've got we tested some of that technology that would be used. We were in Owenton, Kentucky over the weekend, and it worked pretty well. So Bo's a pretty good dude, and he's willing to try all sorts of stuff. So he's going to be one of the guys that might be the one to tap and talk to about doing that on a regular basis. So not necessarily a regular basis, because it is still 6 hours away from home, but on a trial basis here and there.
Yep.
More to come. From the 31st lap, you never know what's around the corner, right?
Yep, that's right.
Well, you have a great time with your tournament. Wish you the best of luck and enjoy.
I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. Stop by.
I'm thinking about it. I think it'd be fun. If not Friday, then at least Saturday. After your arm's ready to fall off and they're gonna be pulling.
Yeah, I'm supposed to shoot at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning, so we'll see.
Ouch. Oof.
Yeah.
Better limber up with some 12-ounce curls, huh?
Yeah. Yep. So.
Excellent. Well, and then I'll wish it to you now. Good luck with your opener at Utica Rome, but I'm sure I'll see you this weekend. Well, thanks a lot, everybody, for hanging out with us. That's going to do it for this edition of the 31st Lap. It's been a ton of fun, and we're going to see you right back here probably next week, and Mike will be celebrating a championship from the New York Dart League. So we appreciate it, and we'll see you.